Hey everybody, Irene Diamond here from irenediamond.com and designyourdreampractice.com. This is the third and final video that I'm bringing to you. And if you're a trainer, a massage therapist, a yoga instructor, an acupuncturist, chiropractor, anyone who's in a solo, what I call therapreneur, a solo practice, helping people as a therapist, a practitioner, this is for you. So people will pay you for three things. Three things is why they will pay you. They'll pay you, number one, for your time. They'll pay you for your knowledge. And they'll pay you for the results that you can give them. That's it. So, your time, your knowledge, your results. What does that equal? That equals what? The value that they get. So what does it mean, time? A lot of times people will come to you because they just want to be with someone. They want to have the comfort of another person. You can use this analogy for babysitters. They are paid because they're spending time with our kids. So people will pay you for the time. If you sell a massage service, for example, or a personal fitness training session, for an example, you might sell a 30-minute time slot. You might sell a 60-minute time slot. So people will pay you for the time that you give them. They'll pay you for your knowledge. What do you tell them? What do you help them understand? What do you help them discover? What do you help them learn about themselves or about how they can get from one place to another? When I do coaching with people, I give them knowledge. They pay me for my knowledge as far as how to solve their business problems. So when you are working with your clients and your patients, they will be paying you for the information they get from you, the solutions they get from you. And that ties into the third thing, the results. So you can give them all sorts of information, you can spend all sorts of time with them, but if they don't see results, they're not going to be happy. They're not going to feel that their money was a good investment for the value that they got. When you finish with your client, your patient, you want them to walk away and say, wow, that was so worth it. And remember, worth it is in how much money they spent, but also the fact that they spent their time with you. So some people have a higher value on their time than other people do. So don't only think in terms of how much money they spent. It's how much money they spent, how much time they spent together. Did that give them a good value, a good return on their investment with working with you? A lot of times when I work with massage therapists, they think the longer the time, the higher the value. Maybe, maybe not. For example, if I go to a dentist and get my teeth cleaned, again, this is another example you might have heard me share before. If you go and get your teeth cleaned and you pay somebody to clean your teeth, you're not paying for time, you're paying for the result. The result is clean teeth. So if they can do that job and do as good a job and get you the exact same results in 30 minutes, is that a higher value than if you went to another practitioner who got you those same results in an hour? For me, being really busy, I would say yes, it's a higher value to get it done quicker. When I, as a practitioner, work with someone who has a migraine or a headache or a neck pain, if I can get their results in 20 or 30 minutes, they're happier than if it takes me a full hour. So for them, seeing me as their practitioner, it's a higher premium, a higher value to speed up the result, get the results quicker, in and out, faster. They can get on their way, they can get about their day. They don't have to spend or waste an hour in here. They can get in, they can get out. So time doesn't necessarily equate with a higher value. I want you to think about this in your practice. Are you selling time? Are you selling knowledge? Are you selling results? Are you selling all three? Figure out in your practice what the best combination is for the dream client that you want to appeal to. If it's a busy person, you might want to rethink how you're positioning your services. You might want to rethink how you're discussing what it is you do for them. The value is always going to come back to the results. If they came in with a complaint, If they came in with an issue, if they came in with something they wanted to achieve and you were able to address that for them, they got their value. So put it all together and come up with how you want to structure your sessions, your programs, and your packages. Okay, so the last little bit, we just changed this through the magic of video. What do you charge? The $9 million question, what do you charge? Well, what you charge will help them decide whether or not they feel they've got a good value from working with you. What do you call it? What do you call your service? We have a term here at our wellness center, or service that we call a quick fix. So remember I talked about getting people in, getting them out. And the word fix, it's subjective obviously, but if somebody has a kink in their neck or they're a hitch in their giddy, their low back is bugging them, they want to come in, they want to get rid of that problem or that pain quickly and get on their way. So we get a lot of business by promoting our quick fix session. So if you have a session that you can name after the result that you give them, as opposed to the modality that you use, that will help you charge a higher price and get more clients. An example I give, if I want to go to Hawaii, I don't really care if I get on a 747 or a 797 plane. I just want to get to Hawaii. My end result is getting to Hawaii. So it doesn't matter what vehicle I take to get there. When we talk about the modalities that we use, for example, again, if you're mentioning the neuromuscular reeducation, or if you're a trainer and you're talking about the type of equipment that you use, that is the airplane to get to the destination. It doesn't really matter. People don't really care how they're going to get there. Yes, they want to know, is it chiropractic versus acupuncture versus massage? They want to know that, but they don't need to necessarily know, are you going to use a drop table or are you going to use a flat stationary table? That part is irrelevant to them. They just want to have their hip pain go away, or their neck pain go away, or their migraines stop, or they want to lose the weight or get in shape, whatever the result is that you provide them. So what do you call it? Use a result in your name of your service whenever possible. The last thing, what do they get? So I was working with a coaching client this morning, and she was telling me how she does her session, and then she talks about ergonomics and posture and gives them home exercises. I said, well, that's terrific. So when do you provide that other additional information? She said, oh, when they're getting dressed and I'm changing the sheets for my next client. And I said, well, why do you do it sort of as a throwaway? Why not incorporate it into your session? So when you talk about it with your clients, they know they're going to get some hands-on time. They're going to get education on how they sit and how they stand and how they move in their posture. They're going to get all of that combined in their session with you. And she said, well, I never really thought about it that way. So what do they get? Do they get a whole package? Do they get 1 hour? Do they get a session and then some 15 minutes later they'll get the education part? Doesn't matter. You just need to figure it out. Design your dream practice based on your dream services, based on the service that will provide the best results for your dream client. So you put it all together. What do you charge? If you charge a good, fair rate, not a cheap rate, not a low rate, but a solid, fair rate, what do you call your service? And what do they get for it? Put this three together, that is what equals value. So again, like I said, if your client walks out saying, wow, that was so worth it, then your rate is correct. If they think, well, it's kind of expensive, then they're going to be thinking maybe it's not worth coming back, or maybe I shouldn't really tell my friend about it. So you need to be sure that the rate you charge compensates you fairly, and they'll walk out saying, wow, that was solid. That was a great experience. I'm really glad I invested my time and my money with that provider. Now again, you can charge $100, or you can charge $200, or you can charge $50. That doesn't really matter as long as they walk out feeling like they got a good value. So I hope that you found these videos helpful. I look forward to helping you more if I can. If you're interested in working with me further, then please look on this page, and I encourage you to check out designyourdreampractice.com. It's coming up in San Francisco. I'd love to have you be a part of it. We can take your practice from where it is right now all the way to where you want it to be. So share this with your friends. Thank you so much. My name is Irene Diamond, and I look forward to serving you in the future. Until then, be brilliant. Bye-bye.